Hey, Patriots! Welcome back. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer. And this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. If you want more faith based commentary on different issues happening every day, then this is the podcast for you. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to leave an American flag and a purple heart in the comments to let me know that you are a patriot and you are part of the Her America family. All right. That was a whirlwind. And I'm sorry about that. All right. Let's just get rolling right into it. Rig maps. But no. Okay. So as you guys know, this past Tuesday in Virginia, actually the night that I'm filming this is election night and it's 10 o'clock. So election is over and we might be, I haven't found out what the results were, but I did find out what the results were at the polling booth that I was poll watching at. And I want to dive in more into some of the more, social issues that I see that's going on and on about. But before I get into that, I want to share a scripture that I found in Ephesians chapter 1, here in verse 18. It says, I pray that your hearts will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope he has given to those he called his holy people, who are his rich and glorious inheritance. I like that. I like that it's short and sweet and that it gives off this enlightenment theme to it. So, as most of you guys may know, if you don't know, I am based here in Norfolk, Virginia. I have not always lived here. I'm actually a native Marylander, born and raised. I grew up in Montgomery County, and I came down here a few years ago for new adventures. I would say, and it just has been quite the eventful journey ever since. So now that I'm here in Norfolk, I am starting to get more politically involved in the area. I've joined the Norfolk Republican Party here in Norfolk. Shout out to Ray Rousey and Jess Herman. Hey. And so I want to talk about what my experience was poll watching here in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia specifically. I was passing out these flyers, and I have one of them right here. Yeah, passing out these flyers to prospect voters who came out to vote in Virginia, and I will probably show it right here. Yeah, a little more focused now. Right here on your left, you see is the current map for Virginia, where Democrats hold 6 seats in Congress and Republicans hold 5. And here are and on the right is the proposed map set by the Democrats in the state house, whereas Democrats will hold 10 seats and Republicans will only hold 1 seat. And I was urging, as a poll watcher, I was out there handing out flyers, and urging people to vote no on the amendment ballot. And the reason why I was out there urging people to vote no, not because I'm part of the Republican Party, that I'm just some type of puppet that can't make my own decisions, because let's face it, there's quite a lot of us in the Black community who are just puppets and just like, we'll just go with whatever direction the people will say. No, I think that everyone should have adequate representation, and that, yes, even that means the neo-Nazis and the Confederates. Yes, I believe they should have representation too. But this Governor Abigail Spanberger, or should I say Her Excellency, and her Democrat cronies in the General Assembly have done a really great job campaigning on how they believe that this amendment, uh, conveying this idea that this amendment will stop the MAGA power grab that is being orchestrated by President Trump and his MAGA Republicans. When they really had people believing that this fight was much bigger than us, that this is about shaping the American history, when it really wasn't even that big to begin with. This amendment, if it does get passed, is nothing more than Governor Abigail Spanberger and her Democrat cronies instituting power, making sure that they have power indefinitely, making sure that it doesn't matter, like whatever election season comes, it doesn't matter whether people come out in great numbers to vote against a Democrat or for a Democrat. They're going to make sure that they still remain as a majority over the state. They want Virginia to be a one-party rule. And it just comes after days later, at the Governor Sandberger signed into legislation of the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which would allow all 13 electoral college votes to go to the national popular vote. So whichever candidate wins the national popular vote during the presidential election, it goes to them, despite if another candidate wins the Commonwealth's popular vote. And I think that people talk about how we shouldn't have kings and no kings and take down King Donald Trump, but you have a person here who's acting like a queen, who is disrespecting the Constitution, who has lied to your face and is not the moderate that she so claimed during her campaign, and that is Her Excellency Governor Spanberger. But one of the things I wanted to point out, a few things, is what my time was like going out and passing out these flyers out to people. There was this one guy, young gentleman who came out, and he goes to Norfolk State University, which is a historically Black college and / university, historically Black university, like an HBCU. Yes, that's what I was getting to. And he came out, and I told him, "Hey, would you like a flyer to help you, help you break down what's on the amendment today?" He was like, "No, I already know. I'm going to vote yes." I'm like, "Okay, why are you going to vote yes?" And he goes, "Well, I am only voting yes because Obama said so." And I'm just like, "So you're only voting yes because Obama said so?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I'm just like, "Okay, I wonder if the shoe was on the other side. If Obama had said to vote no, would he have voted no?" And the chances are it would have probably been correctly yes, because this guy, he only came out to this young man who's a college student at a historically Black university, is only coming out to vote yes because the Black man told him to go out and vote yes. And that was it. And there were a few other people who were like, I'm not really well versed politically. Like, I'm not really, what's the word, educated on the matters of this, but I'm still going to go into the voting booth and vote yes because, well, I've been told to vote yes. And I'm just like, okay. And that's like a lot of people, a lot of Black people. I was at a polling booth that is basically swamped in a very black demographic here in Norfolk. And so I had a lot of Black people come up to me saying, "Oh, I already know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for yes because so-and-so said so to vote yes." I also did have this one young lady who, I don't know if she was a student. I have to believe she is a student at NSU. And she came out and voted, and she came out to vote, and she was like, I'm going to vote yes. I was like, okay, why are you voting yes? And she said, because her friend said so. Her friends told her to go out and vote yes. I was like, okay, so do you believe that everybody should have fair and adequate representation? And she goes, yeah. And do you believe that everyone, even the Republicans, should have representation in Congress? She goes, yeah. I was like, okay, so why are you voting yes? And she's like, I don't know, like my friends told me to vote yes, so I'm voting yes. And I'm just like, okay, but you clearly don't have enough conviction to go out here today, come out here today and vote yes. So if it really was about your friend, like you could be doing anything today, but you're choosing to come out today and vote yes. Why? And as more she thought about it, it really came clear to her that she didn't really know, she didn't really care enough. She didn't really care enough to vote yes. She just voted yes because people told her to go out and vote yes. Grant you, I feel like a lot of people who came out to vote only voted yes because they were told to, not because they felt convicted. But make no mistake, there were some people that were like, yeah, I'm voting yes because F President Trump and his MAGA cronies. And also, I'm just going to vote yes because I would really like to see Republicans lose power in this state. At least they're forthcoming with what they're saying, and they're not hiding it. And you know what, for some of them, they're like, yeah, we don't want Republicans having representation, period. But this isn't about Republicans, because even though here in Norfolk is majority white, Norfolk is part of a larger congressional district that has historically have black representation, and that might go away. Black people might have marginalized representation if this amendment gets passed. So as much as I just want to take this time to like just shame black voters here in the Hampton Roads area. Yeah, just shame them, because they clearly don't understand politics. They don't understand how they don't basic understand like civics. And this brings me back to Charlie Kirk. Before Charlie Kirk passed, he professed how we need to bring back civic testing. You know how there's civic testing for people who want to become naturalized citizen, like they have to take a test before they get like they get a ceremony to become a United States citizen. It should be like that for people who want to vote, because I kid you not, there were too many people who are coming out here to vote yes on an issue they have no basic knowledge about. And I think that it's probably time we bring back civic testing. I think people should understand basic American history. They should understand civics, and they should understand why the issues and the people they voted for, why they're voting on it. Because to just have them, for a lot of them, they're just glued to the TV. They're just seeing what they see on social media. They're just talking to their friends, and a lot of their people, a lot of their network, if it's not that very political verse, they're going to go with whatever the majority says. And I feel like during my time poll watching and handing out these flyers, I've learned that like people are just out here being fooled. They're just being made to feel like a fool, because they believe that this issue, this moment, this time in history is bigger than them, when it really isn't that bigger than them. It's not. It doesn't really hurt President Trump whether this amendment gets passed or not, but it does hurt you guys as a community who need representation, who needs broader representation, who needs multiple voices out there on a political platform like Congress, demanding for things that needs to be changed here in the Hampton Roads area. And I feel that's lost on a lot of people. So I would like to take this time to shame all these black voters that still today, with all the resources and means that they have at their disposal, that they choose to play these games, that they choose to be made a fool, that they choose to be enslaved to the Democratic Party. So yes, I am with Charlie Kirk on this. I do think we need to bring back civic testing, and I do believe that it will make a difference. Uh, uh, Whether people are allowed to vote or no voting, because we got too many people who are just illiterate, to say the least, who are just out here voting. And that's all I got to share today. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave a comment down in the comment section and just engage in this conversation with me. How do you feel about civic testing coming back? How do you feel about the election here in Virginia, if you're based in Virginia? And if you are based in Virginia, please let me know where you're at. I need to see I need to see where all my patriots are at. Also leave this, if this video episode really resonate with you, leave a like, comment, and share this episode with a friend and get their perspective on what they thought about this topic. So until next time, go in peace. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to This Is Her America. We're here to have the conversations others are afraid to touch. If today's episode challenged you, encouraged you, or gave you a new perspective, do not keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, and join the conversation. Follow the podcast on YouTube and all major platforms, and stay connected, because this isn't just commentary. This is conviction. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, be bold in faith, and unafraid to stand. This is her time. This is her America. From yours truly.